Welcome, I'm Kevin Anthony. Welcome to Storytellers, a masterclass, and I'm here with the lovely and talented Miss Roz White Vincent. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
Look at now, first of all, that was just the intro, and we being all prim and proper, but Roz and I go way back, so we're going to keep it real. Now, y'all know I love the Lord, but I love to drink, so we sitting at a bar, and we're going to talk about tonight's incredible show. I'm so excited. Roz has recently relocated from Washington, D.C., and she's here in the good old New York, Harlem, the heart of Harlem at Billie's Black. So, you know, I appreciate you being here and doing this series. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is, when I say Storytellers, when I called you on the phone and I said, I want you to be a part of Storytellers, what came to your mind?
You know, I started thinking about lyrics because my training is musical theater training, and we were taught to pay attention to the lyric, to start there, that's where the crux, the heart of the song, because they wouldn't have lyrics if that weren't the purpose. And so I started thinking about words, and that's what I think about when a storyteller comes to mind. The way you play with words and how you can get the most out of a word. And it's not always a lot of words. Sometimes songs have very few, but the way that you convey that message is just great. And I think about griots. I grew up around a lot of great storytellers. We have a great oral tradition in my family. People can tell a story and they will stretch it and change it, but that's the art of storytelling. Yes. And so I think about humor, I think about the delivery of a lyric. It's great for me. Love it.
Who are some of your favorite vocal storytellers?
Nancy Wilson, first and foremost. I kind of fell in love with Nancy Wilson listening to my grandmother's vinyl collection in her basement, and I started just to pay attention to what she did with the words, and you understood everything she was saying, and diction is very important to me. The singer you have to understand them, otherwise what are you doing? So Nancy Wilson comes to mind, and then on the more soulful side I think about Gladys Knight. Because maybe it's not the same kind of diction, but it's very clear, and there's something in that voice that gives you the presence of whether there's sorrow, whether there's a great amount of love and passion, you just hear it. And so those two names come to mind right away.
Now, you've been in the scene for a minute. You've done Broadway, you've toured, doing backup with some great artists, you've been an artist yourself. What would be, you know, and I love this question, what would be the perfect gig? What would that look like for Roz White Vincent?
The perfect gig? Well, I am recently married, and
I got that name right, didn't I?
You sure did. And my husband Gary and I are developing a show of great duets, and I think that would be my perfect gig, to see that go as far as it could go to television. I always think of it as like a Sonny and Cher variety show kind of thing, where it could have a long life, because you know Broadway's great, but you know the show closes. So if it could have a TV life and then go into syndication and then on TV Land, and you know that would be great. So that's my perfect gig, with my husband singing great duets.
So I give you a little bit of warning of this, because I really love this particular question. And I could have let it go on a little bit longer before you answer, but I love this question, so I really want to get to the meat of it. If you had to sing one last song, one final song, and you could never utter another note again, what song would that be?
Well, I have a dear friend and brother named William Hubbard, who is a songwriter, and he wrote a song with me in mind called Family Reunion, back in the day when we used to sing in a group called Total Experience. And it's such a beautiful song, and it talks about what happens when we pass over to the next side and not to be sad. And if I had to sing one last song, I think that would be it, because then it would be a message to my friends to not be sad, my family, that we're going to see each other again. And I get to sing one of my best friend's songs. So that's the one.
Okay. So you got a number of people that are coming tonight. You know, it's family. Tonight you put together a show, some music that you selected. What was the base, you know, the bottom line of like, and why you put this particular show together, and what is the message, if there is a message, in tonight?
I am a person who wakes up in the morning with about 1 million ideas, and this show is a part of one of those millions of ideas. It's called The Jazz and the Blues in My Soul. And it started as an idea for a one-woman show, and so I have those three influences are the biggest. Most people say, well, musical theater, jazz, blues, soul. You can pretty much hear my voice one time and say, that's, you know, you can pick those genres out. And so that's what I did. I picked a few standards, some blues, a couple of R&B soul tunes, nice little mix, nice little gumbo, and we're going to serve it up real hot for you.
Just like it's supposed to be in Harlem, nice and hot, nice and hot. But we've worked together a long time ago, so I've had the pleasure really of seeing your talent and watching what you do. She slays in the audience. So I'm really excited, and you guys are in for a treat. So if you get a chance to hear about Roz White Vincent performing anywhere, you want to go see her. If she's doing Per Billie, you got to go see her. But really support her and her husband, Gary Vincent. We're all going to look forward to the show that they're going to do together. But tonight, she's here with Storytellers, a masterclass, and I want to thank you. And I always end with the toast. So this is to you, to much success, to continue telling the most amazing stories that you tell. Cheers. Let's drink it. Look in the eyes, so it is so. I'm Kevin Anthony. I want to thank you all for being here, and I'll see you all behind the lights. Until next time.